Hello. I'm just going to be talking to you a little bit about stretching your ears, the pros and cons, and also what you need to start off with. First of all, the materials you'll need to stretch your ears. I'm not a newbie. I'm at a 0 right now, if you can see it. And one thing of advice is never take advice from people who are just starting out stretching, because I've seen a couple people who are just starting out with the stretching and they think they know everything, so just my advice to you, don't listen. But what you'll need, one second, losing my shit here. Is a taper. Well, that doesn't do shit, so this is the taper. Starts all small and then gets larger. And you'll need a plug. You can see that. Some of them aren't, wider at the end. They just stop. They're just completely straight. But that's just what it came with. Also, you'll need a lubricant, which is, I just have a big bottle of slippery stuff. Yeah, kinky. And I use polysporin to put into my plugs, just to, keep some, it's a healing ointment, so, first, you would like to take a hot shower, just to loosen up your lobes, and, massage them for a good bit before you start off. And after you've done that, you get this, and, what I like to do is, I put H2 Ocean on it first, just to disinfect it a little bit. And then you lube it up with whatever lube, but it has to be water soluble so it doesn't, get all gunky and shit. And then you just put it at the earlobe and just start going slow. I don't believe in shoving it in, because that will only traumatize your ear. What's the point of shoving it in? It's gonna tear. So start off slow and, let yourself go and keep going. If you can make it all the way through in one, good for you, but, just keep going. And then once you come to this area, that area, you stop. And what I like to do is let it sit there for a couple hours, or even take another hot shower. I know I'm killing water, but and massage my lobe just so the swelling goes down a little bit after being traumatized before putting in the plug, so that it's not so tight around the hole and it's easier to get the plug in. And then once you've done that, you just take the back off the plug, and then when you have the taper in at the end, what you like to do is just put the end together and then just continue it through. Sometimes it's hard to get the plug in, especially when you just got the taper in, because they have a notch on the back usually, and at the back, and the back of the ear, it's pretty swollen, so it's gonna be hard to get that through. But if you get it through the first time, huzzah. Also, caring for your piercing, not piercing, stretch, after it's been stretched. What I like to do, I use Q-tips, and I push it forward, and I spray the Q-tip with H2 Ocean. I use H2 Ocean for everything because it's my cure-all. And I wipe it, I push it forward, wipe the inner rim with a Q-tip, push it back, wipe the other end with a Q-tip, and do the same thing with the other side. Also, some tips. I know how people say don't use acrylic when it comes to new piercing, when new stretches. Sorry, I keep saying piercings, I'm retarded. New stretches. I've used just the basic kits from Hot Topic my entire stretch, and I've never had problems. I think as long as you keep it clean, I do it twice a day. Twice. That's my advice to you. But as long as you keep it clean, I don't think you should have any problems. But, also, another thing I'd like to talk about is stretching too fast. I take about a month to make my other stretches heal. So, like, between each stretch, I take a month. That's my advice to you. Because if you stretch too fast, you can cause tears or blowouts. Blowouts is when you end up having a piece of skin on the back of your ear and it looks nasty, and I'm sure it feels awful. I've never had one, but it looks terrible. But I've had tears before, and it sucks. You like if it's a major tear, I would go down a size for sure. I did that once, like a major tear. It bled like crazy, and so I had to go down a size. I think it was from 8 to a 6. Yeah, I had trouble with that. But I think if it's a minor tear, if you like see a little bit of blood, I'm not a piercing professional or stretching professional. I'm not a professional at all. This is just what I do. I leave it in and just keep cleaning it. I even put a little bit more polysporin in there just to make it heal. But if it's a major tear, go down a size. Do yourself a favor. You'll thank me later. Also, hold on. The taping method. I haven't personally done it, but I hear it does a lot of good when it comes to getting to the bigger sizes like zeros and, you know, double zeros, getting there, because they're pretty big jumps when it comes to going up that high. So, the taping method, I've heard you just do around, like, electrical tape and stuff that's non-porous, like, around it once, and then wait a while, do it again, around it once, wait a while. But you're gonna have to look on YouTube, other YouTubers that have done it. So, I don't know about the taping method because I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure I will. Also, the people have asked about the point, what's the point of no return to where you can't go back down to a normal size. What I've heard is that a 2 or a 0, I think a 0 is probably the max you can go to without having to not be able to go down. If you're wanting to go down later, stopping at a 0 or a 2, probably a 2 is probably better, so that it doesn't completely stretch your ear to where it's going to look like there's a giant hole in it for a lifetime. I personally don't give a shit, so because I'm going to go up to about, I think, a half. I think it's about a half or 5/8. Yep. And if you guys have any more questions, I'm available. Comment, good or bad. As I said, this is just what I do, and this is what I've been doing. You guys don't have to like it. But there are a couple people... Oh, shoot. I want to show you some other stuff. The type of... There's wood, there's glass, there's pretty much any material you can have having to do with tapers or plugs or tunnels or anything. This right here is stainless steel. It's a tunnel. I just got these for my zeros. This is silicone. It's not Chaos Software, it's Body Rage. I got it over at Spencer's. These things are awesome. I've heard a lot about these. And once my zeros heal up, then pop these suckers in. Also, when you are stretching, never put silicone plugs in after your taper. That is just retarded, alright? Because there's this one girl on YouTube that she had so much trouble going from a 2 to a 0. The reason why is because when she was stretching to a 0, she put these as her plugs. See, these are really soft and flexible. They're not going to keep the shape. And it's going to just tighten around the plugs. She was a newbie, so, you know. There's plastic, acrylic. I mean, these. I mean, it's just a mess, but, you know. Yeah, these are all acrylics, I think. Yeah, I've used just nothing but acrylics, and this is the first time I'm going to silicone for just plugs. But I've heard they're really comfortable, so I'm gonna do that. But I think when you're starting out, you haven't pierced, go to an 18. I was stupid. I went to a 12. So when I started out, I just went to a 12 because it looked like the next size up. So go to an 18 gauge when you have because usually what they use is a 20 or an 18. So I mean, if your piercing's already an 18, then go to a 16. But when you're starting out, go buy kits. Like at Body Artforms.com, they have kits. So buy kits, or you're gonna waste your money buying individual stuff, because that was my mistake. But anything else? I can't think of anything else. So if you guys have any questions or comments, just, you know, comment below, or visit my channel and subscribe. Sorry, this is like my first video. I was putting up my opinion. But that's it. Alright, later.